Hey guys, what's going on today? BOJoeKO here, and we are back with our Columbus Blue Jackets GM mode, which abrupt ended, kind of unfortunate in the last episode. We were in the Stanley Cup Finals against the Edmonton Oilers, and you know what? Everything was looking pretty good. Game number one, we won 4-2 in pretty good fashion, but then tragedy struck in game number two with Sergei Bobrovsky going down with an injury for the rest of the series. So we had Yoni Ortio go in for game number three, or game number three, and we lost that. Ortio showed up in games number 4 and 5. I mean, we had an offense. The offense won him game number 4, and then he basically won himself game number 5. And then it all came down to game number 6. We tied it late in the third period to push it to overtime, and went to a double overtime where we could have won the Stanley Cup. But Edmonton scored, and then they brought it to a game 7, and they basically just shut us out on home ice, as Edmonton is your year 6 Stanley Cup champion. So it's kind of karma, because we faced Fucali in that Montreal series, didn't have to deal with Carey Price, and now we had our Vezina Trophy winning Sergei Bobrovsky go down with an injury, and the Edmonton Oilers had a chance to win it, but you know what? Nobody stepped up in game number 6 to help us win the cup, and you know what? It's a kind of an unfortunate end for our our year 6 playoff run. So this could essentially be the final episode for this GM mode. If you guys make it, so we could push it to a gear 7 if you want, but that's the last year I'm gonna do if we want to push it that far. So we're gonna do what we usually do. We're gonna do our pre-draft video, because even if this is the that was our final year, I still want to take it to the beginning of the next season to see all the progression jumps. I won't be going any farther than that. I'll do all the all off-season moves that I kind of want to do, but other than that, that's basically it. So let's simulate here. Let's get up to the prospects game and see what kind of decisions and what kind of things we kind of want to do for next season. Because you know what, I feel like we were a good team this year, made it all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals. I do think the top two defensemen helped. It got us back to the Stanley Cup Finals, but you know what, it was just, I blame our loss on that injury to Sergei Bobrovsky. I really do. He was putting up good numbers as a goaltender, and that injury was just really unfortunate, and we just didn't have the greatest backup there. You know, people could maybe say, like, oh, you should have kept Oscar Dansk. He probably could have helped you out in that series, but, you know, what are you going to do? You can't do anything about that, really. You can't really do anything about that. So the prospects game, we don't need to play that. All right, so Corsillo, Haley, Lysak, Howden, and Albert. All right, so we'll go check that out first. We'll go day before the draft, get the retirements in, see who's going to be retiring. Nobody on our team, hopefully. They're all pretty young. So let's go see who's retired. Okay, so Mike Camilleri, Vinny LeCavalier, John Michael Lyles, Daniel Winnick, Patrick Sharp is gone, P.A. Parento, Mark Stewart, Jim Slater, Jason Pominville, the All-Star, Scott Hartnell's done, Steve Ott, Patrick Eaves, Jarrett Stoll, Derek Roy, Mike Komisarek, Tom Gilbert, Ram Barbada, Steve Bernier, Talbot, Daly, Dan Hamhusen, Alexander Burrows, Martin Havlat. And there you go. And then goaltenders, Jonas Hiller and Ryan Miller. So 2 Millers are both gone. Okay, so there's the retirements. Nobody on our team once again. Yeah, we'll update the trading block in a minute. All right, so let's go check out the progress report, the stats for. Actually, we'll check out awards first. All right, so we'll check out awards here. So your Stanley Cup champions in year number six is going to go to the Edmonton Oilers, a team that has won it all past 4 years. It looks like the Western Conference has started to dominate these Stanley Cup victories. Only one time in the past 4 years that a Eastern Conference team has come out the champions, and that was us. So we have been up there for the past 4 years in these playoffs. So just gotta find out what it's. Just gotta, it's just an unfortunate series of events that happened. So, President's Trophy went to the Pittsburgh Penguins this year. Clarence Campbell, Edmonton, Prince of Wales went to us. Art Ross, Sidney Crosby. Hart Memorial, Sidney Crosby. James Norris went to Erik Karlsson. Lady Byng, Nikita Kucherov. Calder Memorial, Matthew Barzal. Conn Smythe went to Tyler Bunz, their goaltender, I guess. Vezina goes to Sergei Bobrovsky for the second year in a row. So there you go. Vezina Trophy, William N. Jennings, Sergei Bobrovsky, second year in a row. Bill Masterton, Dan Girardi, Frank J. Selke, Patrice Bergeron. Ted Lindsay goes to Sergei Bobrovsky. And the Maurice Richard goes to Joshua Shala of the Vancouver Canucks. In the AHL, so our Springfield Falcons did win the Calder Cup this year for them, so that's pretty good. McGregor Kirkpatrick, yep. Sorry, boys. Got my throat all clogged up today. I've been recording a lot. Anybody of our team? No. Brendan Lipsick won the Butterfield. I don't even think he played. Nope, that's it. All right, so just Lipsick. It's the only award there. All right, so those are the awards. Let's go to GM options. Let's just go check out the scouting report or the prospects game, see about overalls for these players here. All right, so let's see. We have Joel Carcillo. Yeah, we know his name was mentioned. He's 79 overall as a sniper. Dimitrako, 70. 269s and Graham Joseph and Scott Kelly. Christopher Myers, 74. That's about it for them. Albert, 71. Dodge, 73. Lawrence Lysak, 70. Jacob Swanson, 70. Okay, and then goaltenders. We have 55, 55, 60, 51. Okay. Nothing really too special scouting-wise, so let's go to the scouting report and see who is going to be going number one this year. So Scouting Central, we'll see who we have here. So actually, we'll go to the other one. I like the other one better. So it looks like this Ukraine guy from the Russian league, Alexei Konechev, is going to go number one. Jonas Wright as well. There's that Christopher Myers guy. He's going number 3. Swanson, that power forward, going number 4. Dimitrakos is going number 5. Let's see. Carcillo is not going until number 10. We know he's 79 overall at 4 stars, so he's got good potential. Cole Dodge, he's going up there. Lysak's there. Kelly's right there. Albert, Cam Albert, we know about him. He's 3.5 stars. That's pretty good for him. I think Graham Joseph was one of those names too. Raymond Dowdy, like one Leopold, yeah. So a lot of early first rounders this year, some late first rounder picks, but we do not have a first round pick unless we want to maybe trade for a pick if we come to it. So let's go check out our contract situation now. Let's see whose contract's coming up this year. So after this year, our buyout penalty, if we do continue to go into a year 7, well, we have to go re-sign players anyway, regardless. So coming up this year is the buyout penalty of Calvin DeHaan is now over. We're going to have $35 million, it looks like, to sign all the players that we need this year. And it looks like the players that are going to be coming up are going to be Yoni Ortio will need to be re-signed. I don't know if we want to re-sign him or not. Just because, well, he didn't have the best playoff series. He did have an okay NHL regular season, going like 9-5 or something like that. But you know what? I think we should just go with the rookie, go with Halverson to you know what? He was a minor league starter and he got a lot of starts this year. He could get a jump, so I think we can release Ortiel and go with Halverson next year. Let Sandy Wang start in the minors for us and hopefully get a new breed of players. So we're still going to keep Bobrovsky around. It's just really unfortunate that he got injured. So goaltenders, we can have that covered. Ortiel will get probably released and Halverson will go in. Defenseman re-signs this year. It looks like we're going to need to Murray drop down to an 86 again. So that's really just unfortunate. Murray just can't seem to progress well at all in our series. So who we're going to need to sign. So OEL is going to be an unrestricted free agent. He's going to be wanting a lot of money, so we definitely need to re-sign him. Dan DeKaiser dropped down to a 79, so I think we can let him go. I think Martin is the guy we want to run with. So Dan DeKaiser can definitely get released. Ellis, we can maybe release him as well. We can maybe re-sign guys like Tyler Weatherspoon and Nicholas Jansen. We can re-sign him. Bryson Martin will re-sign him definitely. Yeah, so that's the only thing that needs to get done. Tim Erickson lost an overall too. Honka lost an overall. So yeah, that Stanley Cup Finals lost a couple overalls on all of our players, which is really unfortunate. So yeah, what are you gonna do? So really, it's just gonna be OEL and Bryson Martin that we really need to re-sign here. Danny Kaiser can go. Right wingers, Godobin might be ready next year, so we have to decide what's going to happen with him. Daniel Sprong is up to an 85 now, which is really good. Bjorkstrand's up to a 77. A lot of our players are getting better. I'll check out overalls in a minute. I'm just looking at players that we need to re-sign. Dubinsky went up to an 84, so you know what? I'll keep re-signing Dubinsky. He still's got four-star potential. I think he'll be good. Well, we don't have to worry about Freiburg. Maybe we can re-sign him. I don't know. But everybody else is looking still pretty solid. Carroll lost an overall. Tambellini still in an 80. Reichel still in an 80. And then centers, Dan Terrell dropped down to an 82 again, so have to re-sign him. Cody Hodgson, we do have to sign, but then again, Cody Hodgson could be a player that we maybe let go, let him go to free agency, or we could sign him and trade him. Then again, I don't know. I would be fine with letting Cody Hodgson go. Because honestly, we have enough younger players coming up in our system right now that could fill out the team. General, we need to re-sign. Lipsick, Fabry, we need to be re-signed. So, all right, so let's go take a look at overall jumps here. Like I said, Bobrovsky didn't change, and neither did Ortio Halverson. Defenseman, OEL still stayed at 89 for right now. Murray dropped down to an 86. Savard still at 85. Honka dropped down to an 83. Martin still stayed at 82. Erickson dropped down to an 81. Witherspoon there. DeKaiser, yep. Ellis, yep. All those guys. And then all forwards. Ryan Johansson still stayed at 90. Kane still at 89. Tyler Toffoli still at 88. Hodgson still at 87. Christo went up. Christo went down to an 85. Daniel Sprong went up to an 85. So that's one of the reasons I could see letting go of Cody Hodgson if we don't have enough money to sign him. I'd rather sign him and then trade him and then see what we could get back for him if it's something that helps out the team. Because he's still an 87 overall player, and we could get a lot back for him if we sign him and trade him. But see, I would rather trade Cody Hodgson for maybe like a depth player if we need it, because I want Sprong playing second line time with Connor McDavid and Danny Christo. McDavid lost an overall to an 84, so a couple of the guys lost some overalls, which is it's weird, but you know, so the game works sometimes. Sometimes when you don't get the result that you need in the Stanley Cup Finals, sometimes you see some guys lose some overalls. But I think a lot of our young players could be ready to come up as well. So it could be a year where we get rid of some guys. You know what? I can maybe go into the draft this video. I honestly wouldn't be okay with that going to the draft, because there's nothing I really need to trade. It's just going to be re-signing players again. So yeah, you know what? I'll go into the draft. Why not? I'll go into the draft. I don't need to make any moves. I don't have a first round pick, so it's nothing really I need to do. I don't even know if I have a second this year either. So, don't have a first round pick, and Phoenix is going to have that pick, which is going to be the 29th. Edmonton's going to have the 30th. Don't have no picks this year, so we can just shut down the phones, go to auto draft. Oh, I auto drafted. Now it's whatever. Our second round pick would have been late anyway, so it doesn't even matter. So I might as well let the game just auto draft for me. I'll get done the drafting. The re-signs here. I'll re-sign my players. Alright, so we'll go to continue. And we'll get these guys re-signed. Alright, so let's re-sign the guys here. Alright, so goaltenders we want to release Yoni Ortio to free agency. There you go, or run with Halverson next year. Defenseman. Okay, so Danny DeKaiser, we're going to release him to free agency. Actually, what does he want? Does he want a two-way deal? No, he still wants a 2-year one-way deal. So, no, we're going to release Danny DeKaiser to free agency. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, let's get him back. I think we have 28 mil to work with here. Yeah, 3-year deal. 3-year deal is good for OEL, so 7 and then 3, so we can take off a mil and a half of this. So is that, yeah, so 7 and then 3 or 0.35, so it would be it'd be 6 mil. 6 mil for 3 years for Oliver Ekman-Larsson. I'm fine with that. Okay. Morgan Ellis. How good of a year did he have? 30 points. Yeah, I'm going to release Morgan Ellis as well. Let's get some new prospects in here. 27. Witherspoon, I'll re-sign him. Witherspoon wants a 3-year one-way deal. Nah, I'll tenderify a qualifying offer to him. If any team wants to pick him up, so be it. Hetherington will sign for a 2-way, 1-year deal. Yep. Nicholas Jansen, same thing for him. 2-way, 1-year deal. Yep. And let's get Bryson Martin back, though, because he's going to be a key part of our defensive core now. 2-year deal seems really good for Martin. So he doesn't want a lot for 2 years, which is good. So we'll bring him till he's up to 25. So 1.715. So that would be 1 and then 0.5 or 0.05. So 1.615 and then 5. So 1.6. 1.6 for Bryson Martin for 2 years is a good deal for a top 6 defenseman. Hayes, Umberger. No, we don't need to sign any of these guys. Yeah, none of them need to be signed, which is good. Okay. Right wingers, Ferk, let's get him re-signed. Ferk wants a 2-year one-wheel deal. Once again, I'm going to terrify qualifying offer to Ferk. Yilson, I might want to sign Yilson. Yeah, he wants a 1-year, 2-year, 3 years, 2-way, which is good. Get him for that. Nikolai Goudobin, let's see what Nikolai Goudobin wants. He still wants a 2-year, 2-way deal. I'll give it to him. 2 years on a 2-way once again. Okay, and yep, that's good there. Left wingers, Dubinsky. Let's get Dubs back again. So he's gonna be asking for a little bit more money now that he's getting a little bit older. So 2 years at 3.2, so 3 and then 1. So that would be 2.9, so 2.8. 2.8 for Dubinsky for another 2 years, which is perfectly fine by me. Yeah, 2 years. I don't think he'll drop. He actually got a boosted overall, so I don't think he'll drop. Eric Wellwood, we'll release him to free agency. And Freiberg, does he want another 2-way deal? Yeah, for a 1-year deal, that's fine. Okay, Theo Reardon, that must have been our 2nd round pick. So we'll leap off on him. Okay, those are good. Centers, Dana Terrell, let's get him back. I'm going to sign him for a 1-year deal, though. So 2 mil, so 2 and then 1, so 2.345. Right, yeah, 2.345 for a 1-year deal on Dan Terrell. Jenner, qualify all offers to all 3 of these guys. Lipsick, same thing, as well as Robbie Fabry. Boone Jenner, he wants 2.2 mil for 2 years. I'll give you a 1-year deal because you really still need to prove yourself next year, and then I'll decide what I want to do with you. So 9.16, so 1.815 for a 1-year deal on Jenner. Lipsick, he probably wants 3 years. I'm not going to give you 3 years. Hell no. I'll give you 1 year. That's 7.05. I'll just give him 7.2. And Robbie Fabry, let's see what Fabry wants. He wants a 1-way deal as well. Yeah, I think he'll be a solid player maybe to put on that 3rd line too, because some players will be moving up from the 3rd line. So he can maybe round it out. I'll give him a 1-year deal though as well at 1.305. So that'd be 1 and then a half. So 1.205. Yeah, 1.2 for 1 year for Robbie Fabry. Okay, I think that should be pretty good there. Yeah, we should be fine. Advance a day. See what we get back. Oh, Hodgson. I forgot about Hodgson, so I'll need to re-sign him. I should have enough money. All right, so Dubinsky's back. Jenner, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Freiberg, Terrell, Yilson, Jansen, Fabry, Goudobin, Lipsick, Hetherington, and Martin. Okay, all those guys are back. We have $17 million left. Yeah, we have enough to re-sign Hodgson for a 1-year deal here. No way I'm signing him for a 6-year. Well, that contract might be hard to move, though. If we sign for a 1-year deal at 8.1, we have the cap. We have the money to make it go through, is what I'm saying. Yeah, I'll sign him to a 1-year deal. So that'd be 8 and then 4. So that'd be 1.2. So what would that be? So 8 and then 4. So that would be 1.2. So we could take off a mil from that at 7.14. So there's that, and then 2, so 6.94 for a 1-year deal for Cody Hodgson. I only want him for a 1-year deal. Only want Cody for a 1-year deal. Hopefully he re-signs. 1-year deals are easier to get rid of. In case the next team, it makes the trade value better, and he decided to renew with us for 6.9 on 1 year. All right, so we got the 1-year deal because see all the players that we need to re-sign next year, like Johansson's going to want a lot of money next year. A lot of the young players as well are going to be getting a lot of money next year, so that's what we definitely need to do there, just the unsigned guys. All right, and I think we're good to move into the free agency here and take a look at our team, what we want to do. Definitely what we want to do. With young players getting better, and we'll check out free agents, see what free agents are going to be available. But I think young players will do, so Ferk is back. And then we'll just wait for those other guys. So Ferk decided to take the qualifying offer, and then we have a bunch of guys as restricted free agents. If anybody signs them, then so be it. So free agencies this year. Ooh, wow! Oh God Almighty, Drew Doughty. Is he a UFA? Drew Doughty is an unrestricted free agent this year. Whoo-wee, that's a big name to pop up. 91 overall. He wants 3 years at 8.5. We have enough money to sign him too, which is the funny thing. And he's an unrestricted free agent by the LA Kings. You want to bolster up your defense core for next year? Get a guy like Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Drew Doughty as your top 2 defensemen? Holy fucking shit. That would be an amazing start to a year 7, no doubt. If we can sign a guy like Drew Doughty, and 2 teams interested in him right now, that would be a solid pickup for us. If we can maybe sign Drew Doughty, 2 offensive defensemen on our top 2, that'd be something. That would be something, all right. Even though we have a lot of money contracts coming up next year, that could be something really solid because we have a lot of guys that we could release next year and younger players are going to be filling in. So, yeah, that's a thing. All right, so top free agents forward-wise, Brett Connolly, R.J. Umberger, 2 second-liners there. Perreault, UC Jokinen, Ironhook, Hayes, Howden, Conacher, Desharnais, Nordstrom, Sabatka. Oh, geez, I got the hiccups now. Leno, Polkinen, Spalling, Setaguchi, Stajan, a lot of 81s. Stone, Luke Adam, Kruger, Downey, Nemastenkov, Como, White. Oh, yeah, so there's those guys there for forwards. And then over potential-wise, we have Nemastenkov's the only one up there. Nikolai Ehlers is up there in free agency for Red Stars. Same thing with Jimmy Lodge, Lucas Sutter, Spencer Watson's up there as well. And then just the same guys for the past couple of years. Chad Heffernan. Yeah, just some of the same players that have been up there for the couple of years. Paul Wim, he looks like a new name. Cole Castles, and then some Green Star guys there. Okay, and then, like I said, for defensemen, you got the big name there. And Drew Doughty, 91 overall, top 2 defenseman, is going to be the big name in free agency this year. Then you got some top 6s like McIlwraith, Wotherspoon, who's our property. So if anybody signs him, we might get some compensation in return. And then Alec Martinez is up there as well. And potential-wise, players, Shea Theodore is available as well. Let me just go to UFAs. So, not really. Connor Murphy, Ryan Sproul, David Musil, just some young guys like Pittis, Peshting's up there as well. Gertnan, Robert Hagg is available. Poulet, Andre Padan, the defensive Datsuk is available. And then goaltenders here. Top UFA goaltenders is just Yoni Ortio, McCollum. So nothing really too good there in the goaltender department. And they have Jake Patterson, but he's already pretty old. Cole Keller, Appleby, Tripp. Yeah, so nothing really good in the goaltender department. So the big name is Drew Doughty. That's for damn sure. Is a huge name. But let's look at our roster first. What we have going into next year. So let's look at our contract situation and as well as rookies who could possibly make the team. All right, so goaltenders, Bobrovsky and Halverson. We have that figured out. Defensemen, we have Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Ryan Murray, who's still a top 4, David Savard, Honka, Martin, and Erickson. So there's our top 6. There's our 6 defensive guys right there. If we put a guy like Drew Doughty on this team, that could really bolster huge things for that defensive court. I honestly think our defense would be unstoppable if we had Drew Doughty and Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Our power play would be absolutely unreal. But do you want to have 2 defensemen on this team making like close to $9 million, $6 million for something like that? I don't know. You could trade. You could just get rid of a guy like Erickson, make some room for him. We have the cap room. We have 11 mil left. If we want to go out and sign a guy like Drew Doughty, we can. We have the cap room, but I'm just afraid of cap room for the future. And so Weatherspoon's just a prospect. Jansen maybe could get a jump, but I don't think he'll be ready. Hetherington, Betts won't be ready. Neither of those guys will be ready either. So that's for defense. Now let's look at forward-wise. So we have Ryan Johansson, Patrick Kane, and still Tyler Toffoli as our top line. Cody Hodgson could be a tradable asset right now because if we look at our second line, we want Danny Cristo, Daniel Sprong, and Connor McDavid together for the second line because Hodgson is a first liner. I don't want Daniel Sprong playing third line time again. I would want him to continue to get better like he did this year for some odd reason. He still did get better because he put up a 71-point season, but if we allow him to play time on the second line with Cristo, with Connor McDavid, I think he can continue to grow in progression, and have an even better year. Put him on the he can have first line power play time and second line minutes rather than having first line power play time and third line minutes. I think he'll be a much better player. So you can move a guy like Cody Hodgson and trade him away. That'll free up almost $7 million in cap, which could then allow you to sign a guy like Drew Doughty and still have a ton of cap room left. So Cody Hodgson could be a tradable asset, and we could get some depth in for it. So if Cody Hodgson's out of the picture, we have Johansson, Kane, Toffoli, Cristo, Sprong, Cristo, Sprong, and McDavid. Third line, I think, looks probably the same with Dubinsky, Dana Terrell, and then maybe a guy like Jenner, Fabry, Reichel, Godobin, Tambellini, Carroll, Yilson, Ferk, Bjorkstrand, all those guys there could get a nice little decent jump in overall and could become a third liner. Our fourth line is still solid. Well, our third line could be Dubinsky, Terrell, and Austin Carroll, and then the fourth line could be maybe like Reichel, Tambellini, of course. Reichel could go in there, Fabry, Godobin, any of those guys. Carroll, Yilson, Ferk can have a sniper play the fourth line. I'm fine with that as long as they have a good defensive category. So you know what? Cody Hodgson definitely could be a player that we trade away here for maybe like a draft pick or some sort. We need a draft pick for this coming year, so that could be something that needs to be done. But also, you guys need to make the decision. Is this the final year of the GM mode? If it is the final year of the GM mode, then signing a guy like Drew Doughty, we could do that, but honestly, it wouldn't have much benefit if it is the final year because we won't get to see how the simulation progresses. So, depending on how quickly I can maybe get videos out, depending on how quick the demo comes, and if I still have time to make videos while the demo is out, this could be the final. This could be the final year. We could simulate all the way through free agency, see how our players progress. But I'll leave that option up to you guys. What do we do in free agency? We have the cap room. Do we trade a guy like Cody Hodgson to free up cap room? Sign Drew Doughty for this one final year because it's not really going to make sense in the coming years. But it's all up to you guys. Is this the final year? Do we go to a year 7 for the final year of this GM mode? It's all up to you guys. So let me know in the comments section everything down below with regarding Cody Hodgson, Drew Doughty, trading, and the final year of this GM mode. So let me know in the comment section down below, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe as always, and we will see what your guys' choices are, and we'll see what happens in the next GM mode.